Morning Date. Music is probably the most universal language of all, speaking to one's heart, one string at a time. And that's what world-renowned violinist Danny Koo does, conveying emotions and poetry through impeccable strokes. Yes, today we have the incredible pleasure of sitting down with violinist Danny Koo. I can sense that he's a very happy guy. Hello, Danny.
Hi.
You are very happy, aren't you?
I am. I'm a very happy guy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have that kind of energy, especially at this time of the day.
It's so exciting to be here, though. So. Yeah.
Well, you were out there in the studio in the first part, and you were like going woohoo when some of our messages said the violin.
Yes,
for our text mission
amazing.
today. All right, well, we'll get started with the interview quite soon, but before that, we have a listener's quiz. It's a special quiz. The united performance of a group of musicians is known as what? Is it number 1, truffle, number 2, appetizer, or number 3, ensemble? One more time, the united performance of a group of musicians is known as number 1, truffle, number 2, appetizer, or number 3, ensemble. Send your answers to our bandi board or KakaoTalk Plus for free or text to pound 1045 and you'll get a chance to win a guitar. And also, if you have some comments or questions for Danny, please send them in as well. Well, we have one already. Park Kyung-hwa-nim says, so handsome.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, so you guys should turn on your 보이는 radio right now because Danny Koo is here live in the studio. All right, well, Danny, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
at
having
this
me.
early hour. Could you briefly introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Danny Koo. I'm a violinist based in Boston. And starting last year, I was fortunate enough to join Ensemble Ditto. And I've been playing and performing a lot in Korea lately. And it's super exciting.
Yeah, Ensemble Ditto is Ditto in Korean, right?
Ditto.
Just in case.
Ensemble Ditto.
Yeah, Ditto. So, yeah, how did that happen? I mean, how do you feel about joining the ensemble?
Well, how it happened is I met the leader of the group, Richard Yongjae O'Neill, the violist, a couple summers ago. We played together in California. And so through just kind of getting to know each other, he invited me to come play with the group. And I feel very fortunate joining the group, and it's really fun making music with such great musicians. And I hope that we just become closer and closer into a tight-knit family.
Right. Well, Ensemble Ditto has been around for like 10 years now. This is your 11th year?
This is a 10th year anniversary, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, so you joined on the 10th year or last
Well,
year?
I joined last year. Last year I was a guest, but then this year's my first year being a member. And so technically, I guess I joined my 10th year.
Yeah, exactly. And, oh, wow. Hooray. Yes. So, I mean, how is that going about? I mean, they have a lot of festivals, right? Especially at this time around.
Yeah, actually, so the Ditto Festival is starting June 14th. And it goes all the way through July 2nd.
Okay.
And so there are a bunch of recitals. There's obviously the Ensemble Ditto chamber music concerts. And this is just kind of a big celebration of music. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, and it happens every summer, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we can go and see you if we go to the Ensemble
Yes,
Ditto
please
concert.
come. Please come.
You're playing what? The violin?
I play the violin.
Oh, okay. Which is actually the most popular instrument, a string
Yes.
instrument to start off with, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's in terms of string instruments, it's the smallest in size. And so it's easiest to start off on.
That's
for sure.
right. But it's not easy to play, I'm guessing.
Not so easy.
Well, I played a little bit when I was growing up.
Cool.
Yeah, I studied it until high school.
Oh, you
but
played for a long time.
Yeah, but I quit because I just didn't have it.
Oh, no.
But Danny, you have it, don't you? Okay, so I think for classical music, which is not, it doesn't get so much exposure compared to the
Right.
popular music scene,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah, so you're doing a great job leading that.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Well, moving on to some other things that you're doing, you're also part of another quartet, and you're going to be playing at the Lake Champlain Chamber Music Festival, right?
Yes, so Lake Champlain Music Festival and also Music at Menlo are just for this summer. So that's July and August. And so as soon as I'm done with Ensemble Ditto, I'll be going back to the States and playing some more chamber music. So that's super exciting.
Yeah. Do you like playing chamber music more or as a soloist?
Well, I love soloing, but at the same time, chamber music is something that's very dear to me because it's you get inspiration from your colleagues. And I like to say that as a soloist, you kind of show your own world.
Sure.
But as a chamber musician, you create a world together. And so it's just really exciting. And every single time it's different. So it's very spontaneous and awesome.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to hear your interpretations of different violin music.
Oh,
as
thank
well.
you. Thank you.
Well, we're going to get a treat today. I hear that you're going to play for us today.
I will.
Yes, but before we get into that, we have some messages from our listeners. Porky님 says, 신은 불공평해요. God is unfair. 목소리도 좋은데 잘생긴 데다 바이올린까지 샘나고 부러워요.
아유, 고맙습니다, Porky. Thank you, Porky.
Do you get that a lot?
No.
No, it seems like, all of you at Ensemble Ditto are, very good looking and also
thank
very
you.
talented. So
thank you.
maybe God is unfair.
Oh, stop.
홍지선님 says, 바로 보이는 라디오 켰습니다. 반가워요.
반가워요.
박채호님 says, 데니쿠님 반갑습니다. 훈남이시군요.
고맙습니다.
최정옥님 says, I just turned on the 보이는 radio and he looks cheerful and he's a very young, handsome guy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, let me remind you of the quiz question that we had today before we get into the live performance. The united performance of a group of musicians is known as, number 1, truffle, number 2, appetizer, or number 3, ensemble. Send your answers to our bandi board or KakaoTalk Plus for free or text to pound 1045 and also send your comments and questions for Danny Koo. 이나연님 says, 목소리 멋있어요. 바이올린 연주 보고 싶네요. Well,
고맙습니다.
we're going to have you play right now, right?
Yes.
So can you get ready? Oh,
Absolutely.
actually, before you go, could you introduce the song that
Oh,
you're gonna
absolutely.
play? Yeah, what is it?
So I'll be playing Amazing Grace.
Oh.
And this is something that my parents are both chemists, however, they like to sing at church. And so this is something I grew up listening to. And so it's always nice to go back to my roots. And I'm excited to share it with everyone.
Okay, so we'll listen to Danny Koo performing Amazing Grace. It's going to be live in the studio, so I think we can also see him play on 보이는 라디오. So if you haven't yet, please turn on your 보이는 라디오 right now. Danny, ready? All right, let's hear Amazing Grace. Wow, that was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, it was very peaceful and calming, perfect for the early morning hours.
Yes.
Because this is when it's the busiest and hectic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we were very honored. 최란이님 says, 어머, 너무 좋네요.
고맙습니다.
Yeah, I think a lot of our listeners are feeling the same way. And 모봉현님 says, 감동이에요.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's go back to the interview now. Tell us
Yes.
about yourself. When did you first start playing the violin?
So I started playing the violin when I was 6 years old because my uncle actually is a violist. And so when I was young, I think I heard him practicing all the time, and I was like, wait, Mom, I want to play that. And so my mom was like, okay, you can play the violin.
How old were you?
I was 6 years old.
Oh, 6 years old.
Yeah.
You just said that. I'm sorry. 6. Wow, you were very young.
Yeah, I was, I suppose, very young. But luckily, I never was forced, or my parents were never very strict in terms of wanting me to practice or play the violin. And so I think I always grew up just really purely loving the instrument. And so I'm very blessed in that way.
Yeah, you gotta love it
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
be good at it, right? So then, if it wasn't the violin and you had to choose a different career path, what would you have chosen?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I think I would have loved to be an announcer. I think that would have been really fun. Yeah, I think announcer. I love the idea of sharing with a lot of people and meeting a lot of new people, and so that all really excites me.
Okay, so I mean, you have passion for the violin, but you won't be playing the violin the whole day, right?
Right, of course.
What are some other hobbies that you have?
So I like to just hang out with my friends back in Boston, or I also go to the gym every day. It kind of also helps with my violin playing if to keep my stamina up and just a little bit of weight training a little bit. And so that, and I also like to read. And so those are all things I enjoy doing.
Okay, well, you're also a teacher, an educator
I
at the
am.
same time. You teach in Boston and Seoul?
Yes. And so in Boston, I teach at the New England Preparatory School, and I also teach privately, and so I teach privately. Yeah.
And how's that going?
It's been actually amazing. Teaching, it really teaches you a lot about your own playing because you learn how to critique other people, and then you realize, wait, I should do that with myself. And so I think it's very helpful in that way.
I see. So if there's something that you tell your students about, do you tell them to practice more or study the music more?
You know what? I think as my teaching philosophy, I think I like to convey love, and I want my students to love music because for me, I think music is all about sharing, and it's all about empathy and all about connection. And so I always want to convey that to my students that, it doesn't matter what happens as long as you share something that you want to share, that you want to say.
I see. So music is about kind of sharing what's inside of you
Absolutely.
and putting it into
Absolutely,
musical
yeah.
notes. Okay. Well, where do you see yourself in 10 years maybe?
Well, hopefully in 10 years, I'll still be playing a lot of concerts, and maybe in 10 years, I'll be back on the show, which would be amazing.
No, come back earlier.
Oh, I mean, anytime. But yeah, I hope to kind of, as a musician, the best thing that I can be doing is just performing a lot. And so I
Oh,
just
really? You like to perform?
I love performing.
You do?
I do.
Then can you perform another song?
Another one?
Yeah.
Sure,
I
okay.
mean, how about, Libra Tango that we heard earlier, right?
Actually, Libra Tango. Yeah, I can do a little bit of Libra
or
Tango.
something like that.
Or do you want me to do another piazzolla?
Yeah, do that.
I can pull out a piazzolla.
Which one?
This is a tango. This is originally written for flute, but Violinist started playing it, and I think it sounds better on violin.
Really?
Shh, secret.
Well, you gotta give us the title of the
It's
piece.
yeah. So it's Tango number 3.
Tango number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Danny is getting ready again on the violin. This is a huge treat for us. I mean, how many chances do we get to listen to a live performance on the radio, right? Okay, so Danny, give it a go. Here is Tango number 3. Wow, no wonder you started with a woo! That sounded amazing.
So different from Amazing Grace.
Well, yeah, it woke us up. We have so many listeners who are excited about today. 김지숙님 says, 라디오 듣다가 보이는 라디오 켜니 왜 반응들이 그랬는지 알겠네요. I totally agree.
고맙습니다.
And Wonder님 says, wow, goosebumps. 정영숙님 says, 혼자 떠나는 기차 안에서 보이는 라디오로 듣고 있어요. 진짜 최고입니다.
고맙습니다.
왕혜정님 says, 와, 탱고곡이라고요? 개 탔습니다. 이난주님 says, 너무 멋져요. And many hearts there. 곽정희님 says, 데니쿠님의 열정과 에너지를 받아 오늘 하루 저도 힘차게 시작하렵니다. 감사합니다. And 오혜진님 says, 와, 아침부터 눈호강, 귀호강하네요.
고맙습니다.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really special treat for us. And
thank you.
I'm pretty sure our listeners are now lovers of classical music
Yay!
as well as fans of Danny Koo at the
Amazing.
same time.
Amazing.
You know, some people might not be too familiar with classical music. Where can we start? You know, as an expert, can you give us maybe some suggestions on music?
Absolutely. Well, I think in everyone's daily life, the places where people normally hear classical music might be on the soundtrack at a mall or in an elevator. So these are all places that you hear classical music when you're actually preoccupied by a lot of other things. And so it's actually very helpful, I think. The best way to start is to be at home where there are no distractions. Close your eyes and just turn on anything, whether it's Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, anything, and just really let your imagination go wild.
Who's your favorite composer?
For me, Bach. I think spiritually and just something inside me really relates to Bach for me.
Me too.
Yes.
Yay, high five.
Yes.
Wow, we're having so much fun with Danny Koo. Well, before you go, can you tell us about your upcoming performances?
Yeah, so actually in Korea, the Ditto Festival, I said, starts on 6/14, and actually the Ensemble Ditto Chamber concerts start on June 21st.
Okay.
And we do like kind of Jibang tour. We do a tour all around Korea, which is really exciting. And that goes until July 2nd. And so those are all my performances in Korea this
Okay,
time.
so officially the festival starts on June 14th.
Yes.
But then you said the Ensemble Ditto is going to perform on June 21st.
That's the first one. And then there are a bunch like in Nowon and Suwon and in all these different places.
Nationwide,
Yeah,
right?
it's very exciting.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to those upcoming concerts. And before you go, this is a final question that we ask to all of our guests who come on Morning Date. It's a 나에겐 뭐뭐란 kind of question. So it's a very common question in Korea that aims at asking a person about the significance of his or her dreams, passion, current job, and etc. So, Danny에게 음악이란? What is music to you?
For me, I think 음악은 it's kind of like my heartbeat. Without a heart, you can't stay alive. Music keeps me feeling alive and fresh. And at times, of course, music gives me pain or gives me happiness and all different emotions. And I think saying that it's my heartbeat is the best way because it just keeps going on. And I think that's with everyone in the world. You know, life can't happen without music.
And we heard your heartbeat today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. You know, you have to come back, Danny.
Please, anytime.
And bring
Super
all the
fun.
Ditto friends too, you know, and we can see an ensemble perform
Party time,
here.
yeah.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, so many of our listeners are crying because the show is about to
Oh,
end.
it's very sweet. Thank you.
Oh, you do have to come back. Promise, okay?
Yes, please.
You know, you just made a nationwide promise on
Woo!
EBS.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay, Terminator. All right, well, thank you so much. Could you look to the camera, maybe, you know, wink to our listeners before you go?
Thank you.
I hear a lot of in the background. Okay, well, we'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that does it for Morning